Hey Tanner.
Hey Hank, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining me on this day trip here.
Yeah.
And coming out with us.
Absolutely.
I see I brought my private jet so we could go hit some golf balls or something.
Yes, I'm excited.
Not exactly sure what this whole day trip entails, but some of the VPs they got set something up for us, so it should be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But man, I gotta tell you, everyone's pretty excited. You've been killing it in the leads game. I mean, you've been bringing in leads like crazy. You're just right out of college, which is exciting for us because there's just so much more room for you to grow, you know?
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to pick your brain. I mean, what drives you to work as hard as you're working?
I don't know. It's just mainly like I like to do really good and like be the best version of myself everywhere I go. So it's
So
I just want to go.
you're always just trying to be the best then.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's what you got to do if you want to work your way up, right?
Yeah.
So you trying to be the best, driving, working hard. What kind of goals do you have for yourself then? Where do you see yourself, I guess, in the future?
Well, it's harder because like this is the very first month selling, but
Right.
I obviously want to continue to do better each and every month. So I'm like that. That's where I'm going right now.
And by better, what do you mean?
Just be able to produce more leads every single month.
Produce more leads every month.
Yeah.
So you're just focused purely on producing leads every month.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And so why is that your main focus? Why are you focusing on just producing more leads?
It's my job.
Right.
Yes.
No, yeah, your job is to produce leads. Definitely want you to produce more leads. And so is that the only reason? It's just your job? You're just kind of coming to work, clock in, clock out type thing, or you have some type of goal where you want to get somewhere with it?
Well, kind of. Obviously, like financially, yes, I want to be set financially, and the more leads I'm producing, the better off I am.
Right.
So there's that aspect, but yeah, I want to grow in the company. I want to see where I can get to. I want to see what other opportunities I can create for myself. But at the end of the day, it's just growing and liking like what I'm doing.
No, cool. No, and I honestly think you have a great opportunity to take where you're at right now, being the top rep. I mean, really dominating, generating these leads, and becoming a top star in a higher up position. Because obviously, we all want to do better financially, like you mentioned, right? And so I can really see you moving up in the company quickly and being a top star. And that's where I come into play because I want to help you get there. Because if you're doing good, it makes me do good too. And so we can bounce off of each other and just really work to the top. And so that's what I want to do. Is that something you're interested in doing? Is working your way and being better financially and all that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, let's make it happen then. What kind of areas do you think you would like to work on to get to the next step? Is there something you've thought about already, or?
Well, I do want to know what like the next step is after I get good and consistent with generating leads. Like, what is the next step for me?
So moving on from there, obviously we take you to an account executive position where you'll be taking someone else's leads, probably the next college grad, coming out of college, taking their leads and actually turning them into sales to finish sales. So that's kind of where we've pictured you going as account executive and moving onward from there. So you have to kind of, that would be the shift, is going from generating leads to making the sales. But right now, we obviously need you to still focus on what you're doing, generating leads. So in your own job, what do you think you could do to really impress and move on to the next step?
I'm not entirely sure.
You're not sure?
No, I'm just mainly calling people, generating a ton of leads. I don't know if there's a more efficient way to do it. I don't know, what are your thoughts?
So I have a few thoughts of something that I've seen from other reps that have worked effectively, because you are generating a lot of leads, right? And you're doing a great job at that. And so there's a few things like listening and asking certain types of questions that really amplify those leads, because not only do those leads get generated, but then when you're on the account executive side, when you're in their shoes, those leads will be a lot easier to make those sales. And that's where you start making the real money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so these account executives, so when they get your leads, they want it to be easy, right? No one wants to have to deal with a hard lead that's maybe not really sure why they're there in the first place.
Yeah.
So you kind of asked me what my thoughts were, and my thoughts are mainly just maybe the listening and asking questions. And so what type of things are you doing now that are what kind of listening tactics are you using? What kind of questions have you been asking to help you in that area?
Well, I thought I was listening. I don't know. I thought I was listening.
No, yeah. So what are you doing?
I don't know. Right when I start, I just figure out their concern really fast and then try to get it set up and just generate the lead as fast as possible. That's
So
my
you get
goal.
up and you're, so what you're saying is you are trying to generate the lead as fast as possible, right?
Mhm.
So how can we step back from that and see what's the customer doing in that circumstance? When it sounds like you just said you're generating the lead as fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
So when we're listening, right, it's more what are they doing? So what's the customer doing in that time period while you're generating the lead?
Tell me their needs, and then I'm just seeing if this is the right thing for them, and if it is, then
Perfect.
yeah, we're moving on to the next one.
Right, you said it right there, telling you their needs, right? So that's all the listening is taking those needs and relaying them back to them so they know that you're on the same page with them. Because when they get to the account executive is gonna be like, hey, this is what we're selling you on right now, this is what we got. And if they're like, oh, we talked about that, but the guy just sent me on through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're listening, you're gonna relay those back and forth to them, and you're not gonna just set it up really fast. You're gonna make sure they know that they've been heard and that everything's good to go. Does that make does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that's that's the biggest thing. And then with your questions, how many questions do you think you're asking throughout the interview? Is it pretty quick, or is it?
I feel like as many as I need to until we get through it. So, until they're giving me their concerns enough to where I can get them through.
Right. No, and that's the best way you want to do it. I actually have a website I want to give to you. It's on blog HubSpot. So this is all about listening effectively and everything. And I actually just read it the other day, so it's helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And so I want you to take this website and read over it and look for ways you can maybe amplify your questions and the way you're listening. Because right now you're the top rep generating leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we can get that top rep generating leads and completing those leads and making those sales, there's no stopping it. You're gonna run away train, And so will you have some time to take this and read over it, and then we can maybe meet up a little bit later and kind of go over some questions, some different ideas maybe you have of how you can listen to this sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's meet. We'll go golfing right now. We'll have some fun hitting the greens. And then we'll meet up 2 days from now. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds
Cool.
perfect.
Let's make it happen.
All right, appreciate it,
Thanks,
Hank.
Dan.